Hi, welcome back. I'm Glenn, and this is Tech Savvy for Seniors. Today we're going to talk about doing an edit to your video on CapCut. It's very easy to do and very quick to do, so we're not going to waste any time. As I told you in one of my previous videos, advice from everybody in content creator land, or YouTube land, is to just let your video roll. If you're new to this, you're going to make lots of mistakes, like I still do, and I just go in and I cut the pieces out that don't work for me. So let's get started. Hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe. Talk to you soon. And we're back. So we now have loaded our CapCut program. And as you can see from my pages here, this is where I use all of my videos, and this is where I start all of my videos from. So let's have a look and see how you're going to edit your first video, or if you are already doing videos and you're using other programs, here's how simple CapCut can be. So let's go up and create a project. We'll just hit the plus button, wait until it loads. You can enjoy the nice background while you're waiting. You notice free layer was turned on by itself. If it's not turned on, make sure you get in there to arrange layers and turn on the free layer. So up at the top here, to start with, you've got your numbers, 0929, which is today's date, by the way. We want to change that, unless you prefer going by date only, but I prefer to actually have a visual of what it is I'm actually doing. So I'm just going to say video edit. And that will prompt me on which video this is right away. So if your memory is not as good as some, and let's face it, we don't all have incredibly good memories, well, then it's good to have an actual edit or an actual title for your video. So here on the left side, you'll see import and the plus button. This is where you've already taken your video, it's sitting on your hard drive somewhere, and you want to bring it in and start working on it. So I'm going to hit plus import. Okay, these are blooper take 1 and take 2. That's not the one I'm going to actually use today. I was going to, but I found actually some better footage, or I actually did some better footage for you guys, just to see the easy way to get this back, or to get this up and running. So we're going to actually go in to Tech Savvy for Seniors, and I'm going to do cut video. That's the title that I used, and here's a couple of video files that I have done, as I said, this morning. You get to see my messy art studio and my funky new little sign I just bought from Temu. Not that you need a funky little sign in your studio, but you know what, everything helps. And eventually, when I get everything else set up in here, you won't be looking at any mess whatsoever. So there's my video that I did today for you. You need to add the track, even though it's here, and you can even play it if you want to. You need to actually add the track down here on one of the layers, and it automatically will add it to the default layer called cover. So this is where your covers are usually done. If we're going to cut this background out altogether and just have a plain, simple, or okay, well, there we go. I'm going to cut this part. 3, 2, 1. If you're going to actually take the background out, you can take the background out and pick one, and I'll do that for you as well. So we'll add the second part of this because I did have some other things to say, so we'll add them both in. You'll notice that you can go by number here on either side, or you could have renamed these and just said test 1, test 2, or whichever way you want to do it. So we're downloading this now onto our drive. And there it is there. So it's quite different, the start of it. And these all get cut out and edited. So you can add this track in as well. You'll notice that it added on the front. I don't want it on the front. I want it added to the back. So I'm going to hold my left mouse down. I'm just going to drag this right to the back of the track here. So there we go. So if we were going to change the background only on this, you'll notice this stayed highlighted. If I left mouse click over to the left side, the other one was highlighted. So let's go back here and let's take the background out because it'll go very quickly. Up at the top here, you'll notice I've got video, audio, speed, animation adjustments, and here I have basic, and right beside it is remove background or remove BG. So click on remove BG, hit the auto removal part, and you'll see, or maybe you're having a problem seeing this, I'm not sure, it says it's processing. You can also tell that it's processing elsewhere on here. Usually it'll tell you over on this section here that it is processing as well. In the interim period, we'll just have to give it a minute. It's already at almost 30%, so we'll give it a second. Listen to some nice music here while it's quiet for a second, and then we'll carry on. I'm going to left mouse click back over on this side here. So now I'm back on this side. This should continue processing for you, by the way, in the background. You don't necessarily have to see it going, but it's already at 59 or 60% processed, so that's fine. What'll happen is the background will become black, and actually, since we're so close to finishing this now, why don't we just wait a second and we'll get to it. And here's a good place for me to actually cut this video and do a quick transition. So we're 100% complete now. And if I wanted to go over, you'll see where the background is now pitch black. So what I want to do is put something in behind me. I'm going to import a picture at this point in time. I just so happen to have in my documents, and I'll go over to my Tech for Seniors here at the top. I'll have a quick back look here, and you'll see I've got backgrounds in its own file folder. So I can use, right now I've only got these 4 that I have been using. I've been enjoying them, so why not? And this is a Leonardo Annex A, and this is an excellent source or resource for you guys. So you've noticed I've actually put it to work here, and this is what it looks like. So if I want to use this background, there's a couple of things I have to do. First, we have to go over here and put this up on top, and we have to take the second and put it on top. Why you need to do that is because this background has to be below your video in order for it to show. And we also want to stretch it out a bit. Now this is in the wrong spot, so we need to, again, left mouse click, hold it down, and bring it to the back. You'll notice it keeps flicking back to the front because I have all of these magnetic tracks turned on. I have to actually shut that off in order to get this to move over to the side here. Okay, so now the picture, as you can see, isn't big enough. My arm's still outstretched here and it's still in black. So we're going to just increase the size here, and there it is. I have a fake background behind me. So let's get on to the editing portion, which is what we intended to do in the first place today. We're going to go back to the start here, and we're going to start playing a bit of this. First of all, I don't really like that opening picture of me. It's not overly flattering. So, hi. Now, you're going to hear me talking, and we can't both be talking at the same time. So, on the left here is your mute track button. You'll notice it's on both tracks here. So, we can mute this track right now, and we can just play a few seconds of this. And I'm going to actually stop talking, turn the sound back on so you can hear what I'm saying, and we'll see how much of this we want to keep. Chop it all up in a few minutes on CapCut so you can see where I make all kinds of mistakes in the video, and these are mistakes. There, I did it. We can just chop this out. So let's... Okay. So now I want to chop that out. I don't like that beginning or the start of that. One thing you're going to notice here is that you're quite far away. You see the entire track, the entire play from this distance, but you're going to need to zoom in a lot closer to get this done. So we're going to do that now. Over on the right side here, you can either slide bar in closer, or you can just use the plus or minus buttons beside it to zoom right in tight. And here you can zoom to fit the timeline. What we're going to do is get in fairly snug here so that I can actually see the sound beneath where I've been talking, and you can see here the rise and flow, or the flow and ebb of my voice. And this is your scale here. So once we start this back up, you'll notice this is jumping up and down and up and down.
Well, usually.
So that's not where I want to be. We're going to go back to the very beginning, and you can do that a number of ways. I'm just going to slide the time stamp here right back to the beginning. And once we've hit the very beginning, we're going to look at cutting out some pieces that we don't want now. Actually, it'd be a little faster if I just zoom out again. And there, I was already almost back at the very beginning. So we'll zoom in a little bit. Now let's let this play, and we'll see what I'm saying and exactly where I want to cut it.
Hi. Well, today is going to be Kickback Sunday. And I'm doing this video because we're going to chop it all up in a few minutes on CapCut. So you can see where I make all kinds of mistakes in the video, and these are mistakes. There, I did it. We can just chop this out. So let's get started today. How do I start a video off?
So I said I'm going to chop this out. And you'll notice here there's a fairly long pause along the timeline. So I'm going to come back to the 24-second mark, and they're all marked along the side here. And I'm going to actually cut the video. So here's your scissors or your splits. You may have already seen this. If not, it's good to familiarize yourself, because you have delete left, delete right, delete everything, and you also have adding markers. Here I just want to actually splice the video, so I'm going to cut it right there because I'm not sure where I'm supposed to cut the next cut. So here I'm going to go.
How do I start a video off?
Okay. I want to go back a little bit further.
It started today. So let's get.
So actually I didn't cut it in the right spot, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can either hit the undo button, and that'll put it all back together again, and then back up to just before the 22-second mark. And if you need to slide back, you can always go to the bottom picture and just hold down with your left mouse and slide the film back further. So we'll start at 18 seconds and see what happens.
Mistakes. There, I did it. We can just chop this out.
Okay, so I said we can just chop this out. That's pretty much where I want to make my first cut, because that way you'll notice it'll become more seamless, and you won't know that I did say let's chop this out. So again, let's cut it. Let's highlight the left side, and let's back this up. So I'm going to, and you can be very precise with this and zoom in extremely tight. I'm going to, for example, just leave this blank space in between. I'm going to go back to like 15 seconds and play it forward.
In the video, and these are mistakes.
Okay, so I should have probably backed this up a little bit further. So I'm going to go back to the next scene. I had taken a long pause there. We'll see how that sounds.
Video, and these are mistakes.
Okay, so I still didn't catch it far enough. I want to bring it back even further. And I know it seems like a pain, but once you get this down pat, you can do it fairly quickly. I'm going to take my time here so that you guys can see exactly how to do this.
In the video, and these are mistakes.
Okay, so now there's nothing. I'm going to go on my right side, left mouse click, drag this whole section back, and it's going to seamlessly click it together.
In the video, and these are mistakes. So let's get started today. How do I start a video off?
Do I want to leave that word mistake in there? It's maybe not. So left mouse click, drag this back a little bit further, just get rid of that one word that you want to get rid of. Right mouse click, or sorry, left mouse click on the other, patch it together. You'll notice there's a blue line that says it's magnetically catching the other piece. That means there's no gap in between it whatsoever.
So let's get started today.
That's a little choppy. I'm not really happy with that.
And these are
So I'm going to take that little bit out again. It's just being really fussy and really picky. on editing. And I know there's so many editing tricks you can learn, and I'm sure there's a lot of AI you can introduce that will help you. When this happens and you get your splices jumped above, it means you've pulled your video too far over to the left. So left mouse, hold it down, just drag and drop it until you get your blue join line, and then just let it go. That will actually get rid of the extra layer that you actually ended up having that you didn't want. So here's how the stitch is going to sound.
See where I make all kinds of mistakes in the video. So let's get started.
So that bridge was actually quite good. I'm happy with it. I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm not going to carry on any further with that. So if you liked the video today, I hope you are going to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon with a new video. Thanks, and have a great day, guys. Bye.